Today we're making a loaf of bread using the fermentalise or delayed salt method. I like using this method when I don't have time to autolyse but still want to get that increased extensibility from letting my flour hydrate fully. We're making a double batch today, so I'm measuring out 200 grams of sourdough starter at peak. To that, I'm adding 650 grams of room temperature filtered water and stirring well to combine. At this point, I realize I forgot to use my big bowl, so I'll swap our mixture over so we have space for flour and for mixing. The last ingredient before we let this dough rest is 1,000 grams of unbleached bread flour. While I'm adding all that flour, here's the recipe so you can either screenshot it or save this post. Now that we have all our ingredients, it's time to mix. At this stage, we are not trying to do any kneading or gluten development. We just want to get everything combined fully so the flour can start hydrating while fermentation begins. Work the dough until you no longer feel any dry spots. I'm going to cover my bowl with a damp tea towel and let it rest for 45 minutes. Now I'm preparing to add my salt. In a small bowl, I'm mixing 20 grams of salt with 30 grams of water. Creating a slurry rather than just dumping the salt directly into the bowl makes it much easier to evenly distribute the salt into your dough. This is the stage where we're going to start to work and knead. If you're anything like me, you're going to panic the first time you try this and think you've ruined everything as your dough starts to feel like wet Play-Doh. Just keep squeezing and working the water in until it's fully absorbed and you no longer feel any salt crystals. Okay, now it's really time to knead. I'm very lightly dusting my clean work surface with flour. We've already been working this dough for a few minutes to get all of that salt integrated, so now we're going to use the slap and fold technique for about 5 more minutes to continue building the gluten. Once we're happy with how everything's feeling, we'll cover the bowl with the damp tea towel again and proceed with the bulk ferment until it's time to shape and cold proof.